Hello, welcome to Cinephile Entertainment. I'm a Cinephile critic, and today I'll be reviewing this movie. The IMF is Halloween. A bunch of grown men are running around in masks. Trick or treat. Mission Impossible Fallout. So Mission Impossible Fallout is directed by Christopher McQuarrie and stars Tom Cruise, once again, as Ethan Hunt, Rebecca Ferguson as Elsa, Henry Cavill as August Walker, Simon Pegg as Benji, and Ving Rhames as Luther. Tom Cruise and his gang, or Ethan Hunt and his gang, are the impossible crew, which basically means they can do the impossible where other people cannot. So they are on a quest to obtain these 3 plutonium quarks. And so what ends up transpiring is they lose the quarks, these plutonium quarks. They get into terrorism cells. This is a syndicate that has fractioned off into an organization called the Apostles, and they basically want to bring terror to the world. So they want to set off these plutonium bombs, and the crew, the Mission Impossible crew, are tasked with trying to stop them. But as you know, with most Mission Impossible plot lines, things are not quite what it seems. That's where Henry Cavill's character comes into play. So one of the things I will say that I liked about this this film is actually the introduction of August Walker, because I feel that when it comes to Mission Impossible, and it's really about spies, and spies are very tricky. They're very borderline, but for the most part, I mean, the way how they're portrayed on TV and in cinema, it depends on whose sides they're on. So if it's terms to do with the Nazis, they are portrayed as being very evil, whereas if it's in terms of like Western interests, they are seen as usually quite good. So for example, James Bond is a spy. He's portrayed as having all of these, these quirks, have this gentleman appeal, and X, Y, and Z. But if it's an opposite side, the spies are kind of portrayed as being quite vile. One thing I like about Augustus Walker's character is I think he is probably a interesting aspect of what a spy is, not being political or playing a particular role or anything like that, but just in general what a spy is. And I felt his interpretation of a spy, I feel, is much more accurate of what spies are. They kind of play what they need to play. So for him, he's very much, on the fence. If you do what I need you to do, then that's fine. But just let you know, if you don't do what needs to be done, I will kill you. And I feel that the bluntness of him, I feel, is refreshing, because I feel that when you put him up against Ethan Hunt, I think Ethan Hunt is kind of like the Disney version of fairy tales, whereas August Walker is the Brothers Grimm version of fairy tales. It's not a disc, this is not saying, oh my god, Tom Cruise is Disney. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking in terms of tone, as Ethan Hunt's version of what a spy is more of a hero archetype, whereas an August Walker's version of a spy is more of, like an anti-hero or bad guy. So it depends on, there's no such thing as good with August Walker. It's about the mission, and not only is it about the mission, but it's, if I have to be the bad guy, I will. If I have to be the anti-hero, I will. But there's no room for a hero story. I actually really do enjoy Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. I was at one of the screenings where we saw the previous one, which is Mission Impossible 5. And so this is Mission Impossible 6. And I must say that Tom Cruise in these franchise give it 1,000%. And he takes pride in this franchise, and it's funny because he's the first, he's the one who built this franchise, but he takes pride in it. And in Mission Impossible 6, he is working. He is working. It feels quite bad because it's like at some points it looks like effort. It doesn't look as easy as it used to, but he's really putting that effort in. And all I can say is, well done to Tom Cruise for doing that, because it shows his passion. It shows what he's willing to do. And even though, he can get other people to do his stunts, he still wants to do his stunts. And I will always rate Tom Cruise for that. And also, not only that, but he is a really good actor. I feel that because of the type of films that he's usually in, a lot of people bypass in how actually good of an actor he is, just in general. Is the acting in this film is actually really good. I really did enjoy the acting in this film. It wasn't overcooked, it wasn't underdone. It was, for the most part, just right. Now there is some corny parts, and that's more to do with Ethan's Hunt crew. Luther, and when Benji is around Ethan, they kind of add weight to the whole scene. It becomes quite clunky and heavy, and that's not because of Tom Cruise or the actors. It's just that everyone's older. Everything just feels older instead of, kind of not necessarily young and fresh, because that's not what Mission Impossible is. I'm not looking for young and fresh, but I'm looking for moderate. I feel that there's any youth in there whatsoever. It's like, the same people over and over again. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's also important in a franchise like this, because this is the sixth one, to reintroduce new people into the franchise. Henry's character in this film doesn't really do much. He doesn't have a lot of lines, but I feel what he does with his facial expression, his presence, is still on screen, even though when in terms of dialogue, he doesn't actually have a lot of dialogue. That I felt that Isa was really good. I really enjoyed her presence on the screen. I think that she and Ethan Hunt is actually they have really good chemistry on screen, and I feel that definitely just transpired, and as we're watching it as an audience, it's very engaging, their chemistry. One of the issues that I had with the film was the actual storyline. I felt that the Plutonium Quarks wasn't enough of a story to create, the amount of action and to warrant the amount of action that we got in this film. I felt that there should be another storyline that was parallel to the Plutonium Quark storyline. But when it came to the Apostles, I think there should have been more intrigue there, and I don't think that there was. I felt that because of the way how the action wrapped around the story in some cases got lost. The whole narration, the plot twist, or the plot unfolding kind of just got mixed up into this whole, action first, story second. And I felt that's where Mission Impossible Fallout suffers a lot. Now, I will talk about the direction of the film. There is a few things in this film that I actually really did like. I liked the fact that some of the scenes there was no expositions, that the way how the camera moved, the way how the scene was set up, there was like this silent type of visual planning, but no one's saying anything. However, you're just watching a particular event unfold, and the way how the texture is, which is basically not as the color tone is in the normal running film, but when they're doing these exposition, like visual scenes, I felt that was done really good. There's a few of them in the first and second act. I felt that they were done very well. I'm sure that the audience, within 5 minutes of seeing this particular visual exposition, gathered what was going on. The reason why I quite like that is because that kind of, you know, stops the unnecessary talking plot points that you see all the time in films. It gives another way of basically going through a plan, but not just saying, okay, this is person's going to go here, I'm going to go this, da, 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 da. You know, they done it through visual. They done it through visual means, and I thought that was actually quite good. The old crew is good, and I still want to see the old crew, but there needs to be some other blood coming in there. You know, there needs to be some different type of energy in there to assist Ethan Hunt in what he's doing. I thought that would be really interesting. Ethan Hunt has an intern. Rating this film as betwixt and between. There is enough to keep you entertained in this film, but also this film does have problems with the storyline. I think the storyline could have been better. It to be a bit more substance in the storyline, and so that's why I think betwixt and between is actually good. There's equally good parts to this film as well as there is bad parts, but overall I do think it's entertaining. But you know, it's with for the most part this is an okay action film. The action in this film is really good. I think the storyline really does fade. There are parts in the acting that's really good, but then also parts it just feels very cliche, very like it's very kind of we've seen it before, and I think there just needs to be some new injection into this franchise. For example, the fifth one that I saw was amazing. Like when I resaw that, I was like, oh my god, this is such a really good action film, and I thoroughly loved it and enjoy it. I just don't think that 6 is as good as 5. But I feel that Mission Impossible has that. I think, you know, the first Mission Impossible I really did like. And also the first Mission Impossible is very differently, especially aesthetically and in terms of plot points, than all the other Mission Impossible that came after it. But I thought the first one is really good. The second one is the third one is good. The fourth one is the fifth one is good. The sixth one is okay. So I feel with the track record that Mission Impossible is going in, by the time it hits the seventh one, I mean, that thing should be banging. Have you seen Mission Impossible? Let me know which is your favorite Mission Impossible film that has come out. What did you think about this one compared to the other Mission Impossible films? And would you see this film, or are you just going to wait till it comes out, you know, on like a streaming site? Thank you for watching my review. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe. If you're thinking, wait darling, wait, I need to see more, then that's no problem. Hopefully I'll see you again. And remember, until next time, keep safe. Bye.